Ella had always found comfort in her predictable life. Her days followed a carefully orchestrated rhythm: work, an evening jog, a light dinner, and then a quiet night with a good book. It wasn't that she was against excitement, but after her last heartbreak, she had grown weary of putting her heart on the line. Her friends teased her for being too cautious, but Ella knew her boundaries. She knew the risks of hoping for too much. It was easier to stay within the lines she'd drawn for herself. On an ordinary Friday afternoon, her best friend Mia burst into her office, her face flushed with excitement. "Ella, you won't believe it. There's a new rooftop bar opening downtown tonight. It's supposed to be amazing, city lights, live music, the whole vibe. You have to come with me." Ella barely looked up from her computer, her fingers still tapping the keyboard. "I don't know, Mia. I'm kind of tired." "Tired?
Come on, Ella.
You work too hard. You need a night out. Besides, it's been forever since you went dancing." Mia's voice softened, her excitement morphing into genuine concern. "Just one night. For me." Ella sighed. The thought of dressing up and braving a crowded bar wasn't exactly appealing. But Mia had been her rock through every tough moment, always ready with laughter and loyalty. It wasn't easy to say no to her. After a moment's hesitation, Ella nodded. "Okay, fine. But just one dance." Hours later, Ella found herself in front of her closet, second-guessing every outfit. She finally settled on a deep blue dress that fit snugly at her waist and flowed past her knees. It wasn't flashy, but it made her feel elegant. She added a pair of silver earrings, slipped on her heels, and applied a touch of mascara. Looking in the mirror, she almost didn't recognize the woman staring back. For the first time in months, she felt a spark of anticipation. Mia arrived just as Ella was adjusting her hair. "You look stunning." Mia grinned. She wore a glittering silver top and black pants, her hair styled in loose waves. "Ready to have some fun?" The rooftop bar exceeded every expectation. Strings of warm fairy lights crisscrossed above, casting a golden glow over the wooden deck. The air was filled with laughter, the clinking of glasses, and the steady pulse of live music. The city skyline shimmered beyond the glass railings, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of jasmine and night air. It was enchanting. Ella and Mia found a spot near the edge, where they could admire the view. Mia nudged her. "Let's dance." Ella hesitated, her eyes scanning the crowd. And then she saw him. Aiden stood near the makeshift dance floor, his dark hair perfectly tousled, his suit sharp yet relaxed. His eyes, deep and knowing, met hers across the distance. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. Ella felt her pulse quicken, a strange fluttering in her chest she hadn't felt in years. Before she could think, he was walking toward her, a smile tugging at the corner of his lips. "Hi," he said, his voice smooth like velvet. "Would you like to dance?" Ella opened her mouth to refuse, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, she found herself nodding, her hand slipping into his. He led her onto the dance floor just as the band started playing a slow, romantic tune. His hands were warm against her back, his steps confident as they moved in perfect sync. It was as if they'd danced together 100 times before. "You're good at this," she said softly, surprised at how natural it felt. "I've been waiting for the right partner," he replied, his smile deepening. They danced through one song, then another. Each step, each turn, seemed to pull Ella deeper into something she hadn't dared to feel in so long. She forgot about her worries, the guarded walls she'd built, the fears that had kept her heart closed. In that moment, there was only the music, the city lights, and the man who held her like she was the most precious thing in the world. When the song ended, she reluctantly stepped back. "Thank you," she said, her voice a whisper. Aiden held her gaze, his hand lingering on hers. "Don't go," he murmured. "There's something I want to show you." Curiosity warred with caution in her mind, but his sincerity was impossible to ignore. "What is it?" "Trust me," he said, his eyes locking with hers.
Please.
He led her away from the crowd, down a narrow path lined with lanterns. They turned a corner and came to a hidden terrace overlooking the city. In the center was a small table draped in white linen, lit by flickering candles. A bottle of champagne rested in an ice bucket, and a single red rose lay across the table. Ella's breath caught. "Aiden, what is this?" He turned to her, his expression earnest. "I didn't come here tonight by accident. I've known you for a while, Ella. You may not have noticed me before, but I've watched you from afar. At the cafe near your office, at the bookstore you love. I never had the courage to speak to you, but when I found out about this rooftop event, I knew it was my chance. I wanted to meet you. I wanted to show you how much you've inspired me, just by being yourself." Ella felt her heart swell, her eyes stinging with emotion. "Why didn't you say something before?" "I was afraid," he admitted, his voice raw. "Afraid you'd think I was just another guy trying to impress you. But tonight, I couldn't let the chance slip by. I had to tell you how I feel." The world seemed to narrow, to just the two of them. The city faded into a blur of lights, the noise of the crowd a distant hum. Ella stepped closer, her hand trembling slightly as she reached for his. "I was afraid too," she whispered. "Afraid of feeling again. But I think I'm ready now." Aiden's smile was slow and genuine, a reflection of the warmth in his eyes. "Then let's not waste another moment." He raised his glass in a silent toast, and together they drank beneath the stars. They talked for hours, sharing stories, laughter, and quiet silences that spoke volumes. As the night deepened, the city around them sparkled like a promise. They danced again, slower this time, their movements a wordless confession of feelings too deep for words. When dawn painted the sky with soft pink and gold, Aiden gently kissed her forehead. "This wasn't just a dance," he whispered. "It was the start of something real." Ella's smile was radiant, her heart full. "I believe you." And as the sun rose over the city, they stood together on that rooftop, knowing that their story was just beginning.